Hi everybody, we're the Babes of Bourbon. I am Megan Rudder.
I am Eric Rudder.
In today's video, we are doing the Babes of Bourbon budgeting for bourbon.
Whoa!
The 4 B's, if you will. So Eric came up with this idea and discussion. He just wanted to give some pointers, really, for the best way to find bourbons that you like affordably and really build out your collection. I know there's a lot of people out there that are really getting into bourbon because it's fantastic. Why wouldn't you get into bourbon? Everybody should. But it can be difficult to amass a collection, especially when you want to drink what you have.
Yep, and especially when you look at all your friends on Facebook, if you're in any bourbon groups and see what all they have.
Flashy.
Yes. So just wanted to give a quick video of some tips that we have for you guys, especially if you're just starting out in the bourbon world.
And today we are just going to be drinking some Old Tub. This is one of our more budget bourbons that we have on hand right now. It's a $23 bottle. We'll post a review up on it. That's not the way to say that. We'll post a review up on Instagram for you guys. So go check us out at the Babes of Bourbon, and we'll have our review and our score on there for you.
We'll see how it is a little bit today, but if you want a full review,
I like it.
Check it out there.
Okay, so Eric, what is your first tip?
I mean, this is going to sound pretty obvious, but know your budget. So as soon as you
stick to it, guys.
Yeah, try to at least. So like any hobby, but especially bourbon, once you get into it and start really enjoying it, there are so many different bourbon brands out there that you're going to want to try it all.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
it's expensive.
Unless if you're rich, which this video probably isn't for you, but unless if you're rich,
this video is for the poor people like us.
Just know it's going to take you a little bit of time to amass all those bottles, and not even can you find them, even if you're wanting to try all the different basic bourbons and a little bit more of a premium line, it's going to take some time. Yeah. Because,
honestly, the more premium bottles, you can get some good bottles that are solid, that are easy sippers, for $20 to $30. But more of the bottles that you're gonna buy if you're getting them at MSRP are between about $42 to $65.
Yes.
So if you think about that, I mean, they are more expensive. You do want to budget for them because you don't want your spouse to be upset when you come home with a bunch of bottles of bourbon, which has never happened.
We're lucky that we both love bourbon.
He's like, you've never been mad at me. What are you saying to our viewers? I really haven't ever been mad at him because we talk about our purchases, but we are lucky that we both like bourbon quite a bit.
Okay, tip number 2 is research.
Yes, I'm terrible at this, guys.
So there's a lot of different areas that you can get research from. One that Megan talks about a lot on the website is she always goes to the company websites. And what do you find there?
I do. I find the history, you can really easily navigate to the bottle and get the tasting notes, get just the notes and the finish and the nose. I'm not so great at hunting out new kinds of distilleries for research, but I really once I see a bottle, quickly going on the website and seeing if it's in a palette that I would enjoy.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, Eric's really good at actually researching new distilleries and new bourbons to try.
And the tasting notes are really helpful because you're really able, if I'm seeing that it's saying there's a nutty profile and I don't like nuts, I'm not going to buy. I love nuts, but so I maybe be willing to buy that a little bit more. But if it says anise as one of the prominent flavors,
the black licorice, that's not our favorite. Flavor.
So I sort of, especially if it's listed as one of the first things you're going to taste, I try to tend to avoid that, or maybe try it somewhere before. The other areas of research is what you're doing right now. Whiskey Tube.
Oh, yeah.
are so many good whiskey tubers out there that you can get information from. Just to name a few, I've mentioned him before, the Mash and Drum.
You love him.
Yes. ADHD Whiskey. Mm-hmm. It's Bourbon Night. Mm-hmm. My Bourbon Journey. Those are the big ones I can think off of the top of my head. And then also some smaller ones like Bourbon of the Week. Mm-hmm. Worth the Dram. There's more.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
And what Eric does a lot of times is he will watch their channels while he's working out and doing something productive. So it's like a reward.
Yes. And also local Wisconsin one, the Deathless Dogs, also has their heavy metal band. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And they have a small whiskey tube channel as well, and I enjoy watching them. And if you find one that matches with your profile, that can really save you a lot of money. Mm-hmm.
And when you say matches with your profile, you mean like your whiskey profile.
Correct.
Like they said a bottle's good, you go and buy it, and you're like, man, this is really good.
Mm-hmm. So if
they do help.
Yes. If you hear a few recommendations from somebody and everyone you buy is lining up with exactly what you like, stick to watching that person.
Absolutely.
And then there's also a couple online reviews that I also like reading. One is Whiskey Fellow, which is another local Wisconsin person. He does a lot of like craft readings, reviews, which is awesome to see. Especially with craft bourbon, you can become really risky buying some craft bourbons.
Like, I know we just posted our Penelope video recently. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I was so pleasantly surprised because it was absolutely delicious. Like, looking for those bottles now to keep in-house. I think we ordered some online from their distillery. There was just a story for like comparison. When we were in Kentucky for our honeymoon, we stopped at a small Louisville distillery.
Yes.
And it wasn't great, to say the least. We're not going to name them because we don't bash small businesses like that. But it was not good, and they were charging like $50 to $60 for their bottles, and they were really bad quality.
The 4-year wasn't the worst, but at
not for
$60, I would have been disappointed.
So, like Eric's saying, it can be a risk with the craft. So definitely read.
Yes.
Something. Go online. Go on WhiskeyTube. Do your research first. Yep. It'll save you some change.
Yes. Next one.
Number 3. What do we have written down here?
Well, it's a little hard to read because my handwriting isn't the best. But find a budget bourbon.
Absolutely.
And not just any budget bourbon. One that you can go to your liquor store and know that you're going to find every time you go there. So
for us personally, we were really pleasantly surprised with the Wild Turkey products. Mm-hmm. So if we're going on like more of the cheaper end, I would say Wild Turkey 101 is a good go-to for us because we really enjoy the flavor profile. It is super affordable. You can get a handle for like,
I think it's $40 roughly.
Yeah. And sometimes like if you go to Woodman's or something, they'll have rebates where you can get it even cheaper. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of Wild Turkey products are really cheap for really good products, so we like them a lot.
I would say this old tub is actually...
This is a pretty
good for budget bourbon.
It is.
It's a little bit harder to find because it is it's newer. I don't know if it's going to be harder to find going in the future, but right now with it being newer, it's a little bit harder to find, but definitely decent.
And I would say our second budget bourbon for like I would say what I consider a classier bourbon is, of course, our Woodford Double Oaks.
Yes.
That bottle is usually like $42 at Costco. You can see it sometimes for $46 at a local liquor store. So that's a normal range.
So tip number 4.
Okay, so far we have set your budget, research to make sure you like things, get a few budget bourbons to have on hand. And what is number 4?
Number 4 is go to different stores.
For price comparisons, guys.
Yeah, so some of your big box stores like Total Wine, they have an awesome selection. But sometimes I've noticed they can be a little more pricey on some of the stuff. Some things
I
you
would
get
agree.
really good deals, but other things you're like, why is this like $5 more than any other store? So,
and I think they do that on purpose because they know like they're okay, Total Wine. I'm a wine drinker. Like the wine that I really like is like $11 there. Really affordable for a great bottle. But then like some of their wines, like I am familiar with them and I know that they're charging more for those. I'm like, you're just trying to trick me.
but yes, yeah.
And sometimes I'm just like, well, I'm here.
And it's always good to support a local liquor store.
Absolutely.
And you can definitely find a good price range in there. And sometimes, if you find the right one, they charge very reasonable prices and are very friendly. And you can get some good advice there too at your local liquor store.
I really enjoy talking to the people that run smaller liquor stores, honestly, because they're the ones that are usually passionate about the products they're carrying. They can be the ones doing the store picks, so they know a lot about it, or because, you know, small business, there's only a few workers, they'll know the person who did the store pick and can easily... That wasn't pronounced right. Guys, I swear, this is my first class. I'm just tired. But they can easily like get that other person and give you a review on what the store pick profile is.
And this wasn't on our list, but those store picks, if you're looking for a budget bourbon that is quality, if you find the right person picking them, that is a great way to get some quality bourbon on a budget.
Yeah. Like, whoever picks at the Woodman's in Menominee Falls, I really like them. They do a fantastic job. Their taste profiles is very similar to ours. Obviously, Woodman's like a bigger chain, so that's not sporting local. But our liquor store on the corner, we really like the people that run that. And we like their store picks as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Real quick, sorry. Something that we do, like every time we're at the grocery store, is we do walk through the liquor section. I'm always afraid they're thinking we're stealing. We are not stealing. But you know, you're like, I'm in sweatpants and like big coat and we're not buying anything. But we're always just like scanning. I like to view the prices. I like to see if there's per chance something special out there. But that's really nice because then like you can see, Pick and Save has like Russell's Reserve for like $5 cheaper for some reason, but Women's has like the rebate for blah blah blah, and like Tosa Wine and Spirits has X, Y, and Z. Like you can just easily compare prices then.
Yep. If you're really wanting to find some hard to find bourbons, you're going to have to put time in.
Yeah.
And that time can also help you save some money because you can see which stores have the best prices. Ready
Number
for tip
5. I'm ready.
Yes. So educate yourself on MSRP and secondary pricing. So what do we mean by that?
So when we went to Kentucky again, a quick backstory. Originally, when we were getting married and planning our honeymoon, we were going to go to Sonoma and Napa Valley in California. And then, of course, with COVID and flying, and then it kind of like went ablaze over there again. We changed our minds, drove to Kentucky instead. A little bit more feasible for us. And we had already had a budget, like in Napa, we're going to buy X amount of wine. So I was like, well, then we're going to buy X amount of bourbon. So I'm in the liquor store and I'm like, oh, Eric said he wanted this. I'm paying absolutely no idea to the price. And Eric's like, no, MSRP is actually this. And that bottle is $70 more than it should be. We'll go somewhere else and try to find it. I was like, excuse me, sir, what is MSRP? And how can a liquor store charge like $30 over price? And then, you know, Eric explained to me that is what they do sometimes.
Yes, and they weren't like the most rare bourbons. They're just things you can't find in other states. So they're charging more.
There was a lot of places where Weller was really marked up.
And then the other one I can think off the top of my head is the Willet Rye was like $100 because you can't find it in other states.
Yeah.
But then if you're over there, go to Kroger. Honestly, they don't overcharge pricing. So
they explain that they aren't allowed to overcharge. So if you're getting something that you're seeing in all liquor stores, go to Kroger or go to another grocery store that has a liquor store. Not all of them do in Kentucky. And pick them up there.
Yep. So to go a little bit along with that too.
Yes, please.
Like Blanton's. Let's just throw it out there. Blanton's is...
Oh, you can get robbed.
$65 to $70 retail, I would say, is appropriate. A lot of stores are now wanting to charge $120 to $200 for Blanton's. And in my opinion, yes, it is good. I actually enjoy both of our bottles quite a bit now that they've opened up a little bit.
The flavor profile has changed completely since we first opened them, and it's really enjoyable.
Yes, but there are so many other bourbons that I would rather get 2 to 3 bottles at $200 for than getting a bottle of Blanton's. Just personal opinion.
Yeah.
If you absolutely love it, if you have the money, go for it. Just know that secondary pricing is out there and that you are overpaying a little bit.
Yeah, and like we had the fortune to get Blanton's at Buffalo Trace, where we did pay MSRP for it, which is really awesome. But we did also see it at a local liquor store where they were selling it, I think it was $100 a bottle.
Yeah.
And for us, we were okay doing that because it's so hard to find.
Yes.
In Wisconsin, where we were like, you know what, like one time paying $30 more for something that is a special bottle, that doesn't bother us. So it just depends on what you want, what the special occasion is, who it's for, how much you love it.
Yeah, this video tonight is just budget bourbon, so planning a budget. So just know when you're looking at secondary pricing that you're paying that secondary, and you're not going to be able to potentially get as many bourbons as you'd want or could try.
Absolutely. My brother brought up like Henry McKenna. Right now, if you want another example, like Henry McKenna, you should be able to get it for about like $40, I believe is MSRP. And because it has won so many awards and it is a fantastic bottle, like some places are trying to charge you $100 for it, which is like, this is a $40 bottle at MSRP. Do I want to pay over double for it? Not necessarily, but that's just me, because I'm a cheapskate, if I'm honest.
Yes.
All right, number 6 for a budget.
So right now, this part might be a little tough, but going to bars is obviously a great way to try bourbons without charging full price.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, most of ours are seeing friends and family right now, even during COVID. Don't report us to the CDC. But that's a great way if you're friends and family, like bourbon as well, sharing that experience with them, bringing some samples over, bringing a bottle over. They bring a bottle. It's a potluck of bourbon and food.
That's a great way to describe it. It's so funny. Every time I see we see my one brother who's super into bourbon with us, loves hunting, loves sipping. Like when we are at my mom's, there's like 8 bottles lined up that like we brought some and he's brought some, and we want to trade, and we're giving him samples of things that we have a little excess of, and it's great because he has the opportunity to try a lot of stuff where he's not paying the $50-$60 for those bottles, and we get the same opportunity.
It's a great way to save some money and
don't be afraid to split bottles with people.
Yeah,
we do it all the time.
Yep, it's another great way to buying a bottle. You find something rare. If you have a close family member that loves bourbon, say, hey, do you want to split this bottle half and half?
Yeah. Sharing is caring, guys. Don't be afraid to do it. But yeah, these are the 6 points that have actually really helped us like stick to a budget, not go overboard with our buying, and just buying like very intentionally when we do have big purchases, like the very fine rare bourbon from the Woodford Reserve collection, or even the Bardstown we had the other day. That was like a $60 or $70 bottle, right? Like we plan that into our budget, and then purposefully buy some more affordable bourbons throughout the month, if like Old Tub. That's a great call out. But anyways, you guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Our review of Old Tub again is on our Instagram, so go head over there and check it out, give it a like, share this video, comment, like, subscribe.
Yes, all those things.
Yeah. Otherwise, anything else to add?
Not tonight.
All right. Well, you guys have a fantastic night. Stay safe out there and drink bourbon.
Shoot.
What?
I do have one thing. We didn't say it last week. Thank you, everybody, so much. We were at 100 subscribers. It was awesome to get that. We're so thankful for each and every one of you.
Thank you so much. That was literally the highlight of our week. So thank you to all of our subscribers. You're the best.
But yes, thank you so much. And I hope you all have a great, great night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.